We are back once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be making a video, obviously. Today I am discussing what transpired earlier today during Smackdown, where we had massive amount of talent get released from the company. Yeah, we had a lot of mass NXT talent being released from WWE, and we also heard stories of Adam Cole being backstage at Smackdown. Now, obviously, I've got no evidence to support what went down, but there's been a lot of heavy reports saying that he was backstage at Smackdown, and he was negotiating for a new contract. And apparently, from what I was told from a very few amount of sources, I heard stories that Triple H wanted to keep Adam Cole under contract. So I heard stories about that he and Vince were in talks with Adam Cole to keep him under contract, and they offered him 7 figures, which is about 7 million or something like that. 7 figures, $7 million, I guess, or 7 billion, I don't know. But they wanted him to be the highest paid guy in all of WWE, main roster, NXT. They wanted him to be the highest paid guy on their roster. And I'm not sure if this confirms it, but with the mass amount of releases that we had during SmackDown taking place, yes, this all happened during SmackDown taking place. All these releases took place during SmackDown, and we had the releases of the following superstars. We had Bobby Fish, Bronson Reed, Jake Atlas, not Jack. Ari Sterling, never heard of him, to be honest. Kona Reeves, Leon Ruff, Stephon Smith, Tyler Rust of Diamond Mine, Zachary Smith, Asher Hall, Giant Zenji, and Mercedes Martinez. Now, most of those names I am not very well aware of. I do know Tyler Rust was in Diamond Mine. I do know who Leon Ruff is, because he was the guy that beat Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship. And I do know who Kona Reeves is. He had this some weird gimmick about the finest things. Well, his finest thing was being fired. And poor Jake Atlas, I heard this was his 5-year anniversary of being in wrestling. And yeah, he will forever remember his 5-year anniversary as the day that he got fired from WWE. Feel bad for the guy. As for Bobby Fish, I am very surprised about Bobby Fish, but I'm also kind of not surprised about Bobby Fish. He's been injured quite awful lot. He was injured very few times, and I'm pretty sure they probably wanted to cut him anyway due to the fact of the amount of injuries he's had. He's very injury prone, so it could have been possible they wanted to release him at some point. Bronson Reed is the one that pisses me off the most out of them all, not just because he's Australian, but it more pisses me off that this guy was groomed to be a star. He was legitimately built up to be set and ready for the main roster. Came North American champion, was champion for 42 days until he dropped the frickin' title to shit Rose Eli Swerve Scott. And it frustrates me. He had some tryout matches. We don't know how well they went. We don't know, and that's the other thing. We don't know how well those tryout matches went. Maybe they were not a fan of his tryout matches, but it's still very sad that this man was once considered a main roster call-up along with Karrion Kross. So that's a real shame. And Mercedes Martinez, now don't quote me on this. I heard this from a report. I heard this from a news. I heard this from Tom Colohue. Colohue is his name because I was recommended his channel to a friend of mine. He said along the lines of is that Mercedes Martinez, nobody wanted her. NXT didn't want her. it's either that they just didn't like her or they just didn't want her, but it was reported that Triple H didn't want her. So it's kind of, so to me, Mercedes' release is definitely the one that I'm pretty sure everybody expected, because if it's true that Triple H just didn't want her in NXT, then you would kind of figure that he would have been okay with letting her go. Now, the main reason why I bring up all these releases, and this particularly, is because this took place while Adam Cole was having a negotiation over a contract. Think about it as this. If all that talent got released, then Adam Cole must have agreed to the contract. He must have liked what he saw, and he must have agreed to his contract that he signed. He must have signed on the dotted line, and in order for him to sign on the dotted line, was them to release a handful of talent. But at the same time, Adam Cole basically, I'm not blaming Adam Cole, but his contract basically screwed Bobby Fish. I'm not saying Adam Cole is to blame for all these releases. I'm not blaming Adam Cole for these releases at all. It's not his fault. But it's a real shame that one of his close friends got fired just so then WWE can keep Adam Cole. And most of these guys, like Bronson Reed and Bobby Fish, they were pretty talented guys. And they all basically lost their jobs, all because Vince McMahon and Triple H were desperate to keep Adam Cole under contract so that he couldn't go to AEW. Because we all know that would have been the most likely landing spot for him if his contract did run out. Pete Dunne, his contract's running out soon. I don't care about Pete Dunne. I hope they just let his contract run out and he can piss off somewhere else. I don't really care for the turtleweight Pete Dunne. So, I don't really care for Pete Dunne, so I hope they let him go. So, yeah, I find it very interesting that all these superstars got released while Adam Cole was backstage at Smackdown. So I can't say I'm surprised whatsoever if this is the case. So that is all I got for you guys for this short video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up, comment your thoughts and opinions down below, and I will see you all next time.